When it comes to dealing with injuries, there's been this mantra of complicating the simplistic. We used to refer to the RICE program dealing with an injury. Now we have one called Peace and Love. Let's take a look at how absurd this is. Hi, I'm Coach Rob. I've been a physiologist going on 40 years at the time of this recording. And I guess the old saying of what goes around comes back around, the old is new. I've been recently approached by a couple thousand emails over the last couple months about what is this acronym Peace and Love as it is associated with an injury. As politely as I can say, it's the complication of the simplistic. Peace and Love would be protect, and they've got all these other, obviously it's an acronym, right, of all these different actions. When you look at it, and I'm not going to go through it because I want to save you the time, quite honestly not waste any of your time. You can Google it if you find it necessary, but Peace and Love is this extended version of how to deal with an injury. And the reason why I find it so absurd is they're trying to complicate a relatively simple program. You know that RICE, rest, ice, compression, and elevation, has been suggested for decades when it comes to dealing with an injury. Well, where they're adding on this other complexity is, I refer to it more as situational awareness, right? If you look at the acronym, they're saying you shouldn't rush back into physical activity. Well, that's common sense. The idea that you should protect it, well, again, more common sense. Now, when we're looking at the idea of dealing with an injury, why does rest, ice, compression, and elevation work? Well, let's take one at a time. If you're injured, you probably should rest. You reduce the amount of strain on the tissue. You replace that time in exercise with sleep, food, and being properly hydrated. Maybe get a massage, do some foam rolling. Rest is going to help you heal quickly. When you look at the second one, ice. Ice, when you're dealing with an impact injury in particular, ice is one of only two things that will deal with turning off the pain spasm pain cycle. Direct pressure is the other one. So when you're in pain and you put ice on something, it literally at a neuromuscular level turns off the pain receptors. That's why the pain is a little bit more manageable. When you look at compression, when you're looking at the idea of we want to be bringing the blood flow back to the heart, where compression comes in is it's the body's self-defense mechanism. Let me make sure I clarify this. When your body is traumatized, it will engorge the traumatized area. And what it's trying to do is it's trying to seek out the closest joint to that area and fill the cavity up so that your range of motion is limited. If I jam my lower leg up, if I can fill my knee with fluid, it's less of a chance that I'm going to be walking around on my leg, aggravating the muscles that are already jeopardized. So we use compression to try to keep the area from becoming engorged. And then the last one is elevation. If you're using the acronym RICE, rest, ice, compression, and elevation. Elevation works extremely well because you let gravity do its job. It pulls the fluid out of the inflicted area. So if you're looking at those four modalities, this idea that you need to protect it and you need to do all these other silly acronyms are just that. They're silly. Nothing is going to beat the RICE acronym because surrounding the RICE acronym is common sense. You shouldn't rush back in if it's still hot to the touch, if it's swollen, if it hurts when you put pressure on it, pressing it, hurts when you stand on it or you try to engage it in any type of physical activity. That's where common sense has to kick in. And I know it's tough. You might have a big event coming up. I know you're feeling like time's working against you. Well, I'm not trying to insult your intelligence here, but if your body is traumatized, trying to get back into your physical activity as quickly as possible is actually only going to set you back. I can't thank you enough for all of the support on this channel. The number of subscribers has gone through the roof. The number of emails that have come in are literally doubled. And I'm so thankful for that because here on YouTube, we put out a video every day. So if you haven't liked, subscribed, and turned on the notifications, I'd encourage you to do so. We love answering your questions. That's what these videos stem from. And if you happen to have a question, please send it to me. contact@coachrob.com. Again, thank you for your time here today, and we certainly look forward to tomorrow answering another question.